Okay, hi everybody. Again, my name is Andrea. I am the owner of ClearSpeak and I work with individuals on English pronunciation. Let's talk a little bit about tech terms used in the technology sector. There are thousands to choose from, so I just tried to kind of pick and choose across a range of different areas, and let's look at what that is. What we're going to talk about today is how to pronounce these terms, tuning your ear to listen for the terms, for the sounds that I'm saying and the stress that I'm using, and how to use Google Dictionary to check and use it as a tool, really. The last video that I did, one of the last videos that I did, talked about the sounds of English. And if you need a review, I would go back there to look at the sound system of English. In that video, I shared this cheat sheet for the sounds of English. And I'm going to be talking about the symbol system here on the right that Google uses when they're talking about what sounds we say in English. So again, here's the cheat sheet and all the weird symbols that might get used to talk about sounds. Okay, so I just did a video as well on accounting terms. If you're interested in those, look up that one as well. Here's my tech sector terms. We'll talk about some terms that are used in the social media space, digital marketing, design, user experience, front-end, back-end development, systems and data, just to kind of throw a net on a broad range of things. Okay, let's see here. All right, and again, today I'm going to be using Google Dictionary and kind of showing you how to bridge the gap here and what to listen for. All right, let's do the first one. I'm going to say the word a few times probably. I want you to hear the actual sounds being said, especially the vowels, and the stress. And I want you to maybe make a note, write it down, however you want to kind of work through this is up to you. But really pay attention to what part of the word did I hang on to the longest? How much emphasis did I give it? And what was the actual vowel you heard or combinations of sounds? How many syllables were in the word? It's not always that easy to figure out. Okay, the first word, content. Content. Okay, so what I might do if I was using Google Dictionary to try to practice is I'm going to type that into Google Dictionary and I'm going to look at, oh, see, this is very, oh, I love this example. I wasn't thinking content. What they're writing here is content. I feel content. Here's your stress marker. That means this is the stress syllable. Two-syllable verbs have the stress placed on the second syllable. Content. That's how I know this isn't a noun. The one I was saying was a noun. Content. Content down here. Content. The things that are held up included in something. Content. Oh, here we go. Here's our transcription of content. Look at how different it is. You have your ah. This is representing the sound ah, ah. Content. Stress on the first syllable. Content. Content. Look at the feeling. Content. Content. I was calling it a verb. Anyway, to satisfy. Content. Okay, let's look at the word curation. Crazy. Curation. Curation. Again, I talked before about if you've ever worked with a speech trainer or been through a bunch of videos, maybe you may have noticed that words that end with T-I-O-N have the stress syllable right before that ending every time. Curation. Curation. Also be listening to the sound here. Cure. Curation. Let's type that in and see what that looks like. Here it is. Here's that y. Your. K. 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 Curation. T-I-O-N endings are not pronounced shean. They're pronounced shun, shun. So little mouth movement because it's a schwa, and that's what you do with a schwa. Curation. All of my big movement happens in the stress syllable. Curation, curation. Okay. Engagement, 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 engagement. Let's look at what that would look like. Engagement, engagement. We also have this being pronounced with N, engagement, engagement, engagement. I had this example in the accounting terms video as well, where there were 2 transcriptions for a word. Let's hear what Google Dictionary's deciding to choose for the pronunciation.
Engagement. Engagement.
I hear engagement. It could be engagement. It's hard to know which one's which. It doesn't really matter that much. One of the things that you can do is then go into Youglish and type engagement. And then we're going to listen.
What you see there is this enormous hunger for engagement from
engagement, engagement, engagement. Okay.
And outreach and engagement.
Engagement, engagement. That sounded more like engagement.
The engagement was turbo.
Engagement, engagement. So you can hear people having different levels of emphasis on this unstressed syllable here. Engagement, engagement, engagement. Doesn't really matter. What they are all doing the same is really stressing the second syllable. Engagement. Okay. Let's look at embedding. Embedding. This one I think is going to be similar to this, where some people are going to say embedding and some people are going to say embedding. Okay. Make sure I spelled it right. Embed. Embed. Embedding. 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 Influencer. 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 It will give it to us. In, stress syllable, in, flu, win, sir. Influencer. 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 An influencer. Oops. Sorry. That's what I wanted to do. Organic. 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 Or, even though it's not a stressed syllable, the vowel still gets pretty good pronunciation. Organic. Organic. Make sure you're stressing that and giving that a lot of time. Overemphasize it and then pull it back to something that sounds more natural. Organic. Organic traffic. Da, 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 da. Okay, social. I hear this word incorrect all the time. Social. Social. It's not social. Again, when we see these letters, our tendency is like, oh, I have to say each sound. In English, of course, that doesn't happen very often. Or it's often gets pronounced with more of a schwa or collapsing of vowels. Social. Social. Social media. Social media. Social. Generated. 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 Gen, like the name. Generate. 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 You can see the secondary stress here, right? Got a little doodad right here. Generate. 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 Generated. 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 What are you hearing me do to that T when I add an ED ending? Generated. 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 I'm saying it like this. See if my generated. 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 Watch your ED endings. Okay. Digital marketing, design, and experience. Here's some terms that maybe fit in that category. Affiliate. Affiliate. And again, listen to how the vowels link together. This is how I would spell this out for somebody. Affiliate. Affiliate. You can think about it with or without this L here and only one here. It doesn't really matter. Let's look at that. Affiliate. Okay. As a verb or a noun. Affiliate. Affiliate. Oh yeah, that's true. Affiliate. Affiliate. I want to affiliate myself. Affiliate. Affiliate versus an affiliate. 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 An affiliate to affiliate. This is what I think is fun about pronunciation, but also frustrating, right? Is that difference in pronunciation will change the meaning. Marketing. Listen to what's happening to the T again. Marketing. Marketing. You'll hear this D, right? Marketing. I would spell this out with a long E. Marketing. But Google Dictionary disagrees with that. Marketing. Marketing. Bounce rate. Bounce rate. Now, when you have compound nouns like this, like bounce rate is a one thing, the first word is going to get a little bit more emphasis than the second word. Bounce rate. Bounce rate connects them together. Let's look up the word. Well, let's see what happens if we put it in. Yeah, it does come up. It does not give you a transcription. Bounce rate. Bounce rate. Bounce rate. Again, if you had this problem, you could type it into Youglish and listen to those videos. And again, tuning your listening ear to what sounds am I actually hearing? What are they saying? Record yourself and compare. It's a really great way to practice English pronunciation anyway. Call to action. And again, this is kind of one thing, right? It's like a compound phrase. Call to action. I would say secondary stress on action. Now, English speakers are not saying call to action, call to action. They're saying call to action, call to action, call to action, right? Let's see what happens when we type that one in. I haven't done any of these yet, so. Oops. Yeah, again, they're not going to type it out.
Call to action.
Call to action, call to action. That's fine to keep this as a call to action. Again, it might be interesting to type this one into Youglish. There will be a ton of videos with this phrase in it, I'm sure. Let's hear what they say.
Line in it, this call to action.
Call to action, call to action. Okay, what's the next one?
Now, in the spirit of hastening momentum on this call to action to grow our
Did you hear call to action or call to action? I'm hearing call to action.
Is a call to action.
Call to action. That doesn't mean that you can't say it as call to action. That's fine too. Either way, this is a schwa, call to action, call to action. Funnel, funnel. What you'll hear is this. Again, I would put a little bit of a schwa in between the N and the L because it's like a vocalic L. I actually,
Funnel.
I completely disagree with that spelling, that phonetic. This is really what it is. Null. Goodness gracious. There we go. This is what's being said. Funnel. 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 Conversion. Conversion. Listen to the stress, listen to the vowels again. You'll notice the same with T-I-O-N endings. S-I-O-N endings, again, has this primary stress right before it. Conversion. And it's also not pronounced Jian. Conversion. That's what this is. Jin. Conversion. 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 Conversion rates. Whatever. Optimization. Optimization. Again, you're going to hear a secondary stress. If you're a really tuned in listener, you're going to hear that secondary stress and then the primary stress. Optimization. Because you know, if you see this ending, you know it's going to be the syllable right before that gets the most. In a long word, there's often secondary, like in this word, optimization. 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 And there's your secondary stress marking right there. Optimization. Let's see what they're saying on the second one. Optimization, 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 optimization. I hear it most commonly pronounced this way, but in your area, in your region, it might be different.
Optimization.
She's pronouncing it this way. Let's see what English has to say. Optimization.
Algorithm for combinatorial optimization. That's just as a reminder.
Sorry, optima. See if he's doing it so fast. But again, you can slow it down and then speed it up. Optimization. Let's see what the next one sounds like.
We want to really figure it out from an optimization.
Optimization.
Business problems, you use optimization.
Optimization. They're doing all three of those guys are doing this first one. Again, I don't know how many videos deep you'd have to get to hear the second pronunciation, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Rate. When you have this spelling of a vowel, a consonant, and a vowel, the first vowel is usually a long vowel. Rate. Again, these are some of the tips and tricks that you can learn when you work with a speech trainer like myself. We teach you all of these tips and tricks to figure out these things and then also to train your ear to listen for them. Rate. Okay. Automation. Again, this isn't auto or outa or outa. It's automation. Automation. Okay. Automation. Secondary stress on this vowel here. Automation. Now, if I say this word, auto, I'm still changing this to a D. Automobile, automatic, automation, Start noticing those patterns. Traffic. Again, I hear a lot of people pronounce this vowel incorrectly or differently. Traffic. You want to drive traffic to the site. Not traffic, traffic. System. Now, a lot of times the letter Y in English is going to be more like an E vowel, like at the end of a word, like the first word I can think of is comfy, E. Those ending Y's are almost always E sounds, but you'll have these sneaky ones that are I, right? What sound are you hearing? System. System. Pixels. Listen to all of the sounds going on in this one letter. Pixels. Let's see what Google wants to write that as. So they're not pluraling it and showing you that that ending S is going to be pronounced more like a Z sound. If you say pixels with an S, you're still going to be understood. Pixels. But oftentimes those ending S's are really Z sounds. Pixels. Retina. You're going to get different pronunciations here too. I don't know if you could hear me just kind of, it's called a glottal stop, where you stop the sound here. Retina. Thank you, English. Let's see what. Retina. So here's how she's saying it. Retina. Now what's interesting again is Google is writing this up here as a 3-syllable word, retina. But the pronunciation writing is a 2-syllable writing, retina. She's saying it as a 3-syllable word. This is where like Google Dictionary and this phonetic pronunciation spelling is really useful, but you have to pair that with listening and hearing. What are you actually hearing? So again, you're going to hear this T pronounced like she did, retina. Most of the time, you're going to get speakers wanting to tap this or glottal it, retina or retina. Let's see what English has to say.
Through the cornea, your retina converts.
Retina. Next one.
Red and green cones for vision are on the retina.
Retina. On the retina.
Real extreme one, so like the retina scan.
Retina. Okay, here's how they're really pronouncing that. What they're saying is retina, or retina. This is kind of my glottal stop. I suppose if I wanted to be, I could write that a little bit better, but that question marky sound is basically looks like a glottal stop. Retina. Resolution. Do you hear the Z? Resolution. Okay, I put interface on here for the same reason that retina is on here. Interface. But you're also going to hear a speaker say interface. The letter T in English, I feel like, is the most butchered letter for sound and pronunciation in American English and maybe in English in general. Okay, so she's saying the T is maybe there, maybe not there. Interface. She's keeping it in there. Interface. Let's hear what some pronunciations on English say. This will be interesting.
In the interface between
The interface, inner,
Considering the actual medium that this user interface is going to.
interface, inner.
Think the brain machine interface.
Brain, machine, inner, interface.
component that implements this app storage interface.
Inner, interface, app storage, interface, interface. So here's what they're saying. Interface, inner, interface. T is gone. Intermittent, intermittent, intermittent. Interface, interface, interface. Pick the one you like. You could say either one. Experience. I like this one because of the vowel linking. How do you make this sound smooth? Ick. They're typing it with ick. Experience. Experience. Ick. Experience. I think you'll also hear ick. Experience. Experience. Ick. Experience. I don't think it matters that much.
Experience.
Again, I think he's saying experience with more of an vowel than an vowel. I just don't think it matters that much. Again, you can Youglish it and just see like, okay, what am I really hearing and what do I want to model? Which one do I like? Experience. The most experience. Oh, that's interesting. Experience. I'm going to rewrite that for you because I don't like the way they wrote that again. I'm going to keep the beginning the same just for this is how I would write it. I know this is very different than what they wrote, but this is a little bit more, I think, clear. Oops. Experience. Experience. What they wrote here was experience. Experience. It's just a mistake. It doesn't happen that often. Considering. Okay. Hierarchy. 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 Gosh, this word is hard to spell. Sorry. Hierarchy. Higher. I would pair these two together because that's kind of like a vowel R. Hierarchy. 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 Front end, front end, front end. So listen to how this is an front, front, front end. Now you're going to hear the same thing happen with this T when we say these two words together. I think more often you're going to hear front end, front end, front end instead of front end, front end, front end. Let's test it. I'm surprised there aren't more videos with that.
I'll say that from like a more of like a front end arc.
Front end.
To do things that they were comfortable doing, as long as they understood what our requirements were on the front end.
On the front end.
The front end of the show.
On the front end, yeah. A lot of times that's what they're saying. HTML. HTML. Now, what's interesting with this, when you're saying an acronym, give the last letter the most stress and make sure you pronounce the entire letter name. I have no idea if this would show up in. Yeah, nice. HTML. And you see the stress mark on that last syllable. Nice. HTML. Elements. Elements, right? Elements. Meta. Meta. What are you hearing here? Are you hearing meta or meta? Meta. Meta. Metadata. Data. That's one that different people pronounce differently in different regions. Structural. What I really wanted you to hear is what happens here in the middle. Structural. Structural. Let's see what. How about if I structural? Interesting. Structural.
Structural.
That's not right. Okay, so what she's saying is, or what should be said, is I'm going to write it two ways. Sure. Structural. I think you'll also hear this. Sorry, I forgot to put the K here. Structural. I think you'll also hear structural, structural, or structural. Let me hear some structural. Whoops. There we go.
Thing. Is that going to be on the test? How do you spell structural?
Structural. Got a little bit more of a ch.
Sort of structural comment.
Structural.
The background of that, though, is a real structural rock.
Structural. Kind of more of a ch, or sh, I'm sorry.
We face, and that is a potential massive structural element.
Structural. I don't really think it matters that much. Pick the one you like. Sometimes I'm hearing the sh, sometimes I'm hearing a little bit more of a ch, which would be kind of that T-like element. Attributes. Listen to that. Attributes. Value. Again, attributes, value. You've got to put that little E in there. It's not value, it's value. API. Again, you've got your saying each letter name fully and emphasizing the end. API. PI. I'm also connecting those together. API. Version, not version. Version. Which version are we on? Router. Listen to this. Row, and then the T. Der. Z. Routers. Cloud computing, not poot. Cloud computing. Cloud computing. Machine. Weird spelling for how we say that. Machine. VPN. Architecture. Listen to this again with this sh sound, like structural. Sure. Architecture. Native. I hear these kinds of words in this group of words pronounced incorrectly all the time. It's not native, it's native. Again, listen to that vowel and the T. Native. Natural, nature. Native, nature, natural. Okay? you can stop there. I'm going to do another video for medical terms. I hope that you enjoyed that. Again, if I missed some that you want me to talk about, I am so happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments so that I know what you're finding valuable and what you like. If you want to do more English examples, or you really enjoyed this Google Dictionary, kind of like a how-to, how do I use this resource? And I think it was good to know, like, okay, sometimes there's a mistake and you really have to rely on your listening. The better you're hearing it, the better you're going to integrate. And what I would do is I would take some of these words, if you're using these words and you recognize you're not quite saying it the same, record yourself, work on it, and see if you can hear that difference. Anyway, have a great day.